interview with the Neverwinter devs. TJ went all hot ones with this one. Let me tell you, like we've got a hot sauce interview where they increase. There's like 5 hot sauces. Oh man, I cannot wait
to see if they can take the heat.
Yeah, taste the heat, not the meat. In this case, David.
I love it.
But right now we've got a bunch of Beccas, a bevy of Beccas, a triple Becca threat, a Tribeca threat.
Tribeca, yes.
Have you tried Becca before? Well, now's your chance.
Now's your chance. There are 3 of them.
Try Becca.
So
try the Tribeca, David. It's delicious. You know, it's my wife's family recipe. I've never met them or had it before or met her.
But you hear it's delicious.
I like that my imaginary family is like the running theme.
Yeah.
So far.
We're gonna keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, because I'll never have a real family.
Lay. You know what, Blake? Maybe the Tribecas are the real families.
That's a little polygamous.
That you make along the way.
Like, you want me to marry 3 Beccas?
You might as well. You're never going to meet any of them.
I can't.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like.
Why not?
I feel like magic.
Keep your options open. Man.
I couldn't break magic. I couldn't break Magic's imaginary heart, hypothetical heart.
Yeah. Well. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Don't do that to Madge. Do we have any idea what we can expect to see at the show? Because this was not originally on our schedule, but we got an invitation. Right?
They asked us. It was more like they asked us, and I forgot that they asked us. And I'm like, oh yeah.
So they.
Of course.
But that happens. That happens when you're recuperating from COVID and setting up a show with 6 E's. That's your own fault. You're too ambitious. It's like next year you're going to have 7 or something. Get out of here.
There are going to be 7 E's next year, David. I don't like to... I'm not trying to spoil alert.
Spoil alert. Numbers. They have an order.
That order is chaos. And that chaos has been contained into 4 8-hour days of content.
I love it. So we're only 33 seconds away, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's on display here.
David.
Yes.
I'm in the dancing mood.
I know you have been all day, buddy.
I like music, David. If I hear music and it's like getting me pumped up, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. Also, I have energy. I had to drink coffee today, David. I haven't been drinking coffee. Did we discuss this?
You're not normally a coffee drinker.
My ube coffee today, my purple.
Oh, we did talk about that.
Coffee.
We did.
Oh,
here we go.
Hot shuffle.
I don't know that you'll be able to do that anymore. Welcome to the Tribeca Games Spotlight.
Co-hosted by 3 people.
Thank you all for joining us for the 2nd annual Tribeca Games Spotlight.
Wow, she is dressed like the future. That guy's just wearing a black t-shirt.
You know what? I'm down with that. It's my sort of attire.
Stories about
Look at
family,
him.
cultural
He's just
identity, and coming of age as a
his
child,
living
a
room.
teen, or an adult facing a world that never stops
Hey,
changing.
Thirsty
They
Suitors.
invite us to investigate mysteries and navigate familiar yet dangerous terrain, or simply just
Like
cook a meal
Tale 2?
with people we love.
Others explore our fears about the future.
What
through
is it about
dystopian
cooking
tales
games,
of
David?
environmental
What
ruin.
is it?
I don't know.
Something
I don't.
about
But all of them
They've got the right ingredients, you know.
Play and challenge ourselves. Whether that means a much needed
Big
break
Sky?
from the worries of our daily
Look
lives.
at that old guy in the
or
back.
experience that
Is
tells
Big
us something
Sky
true
a
about what it means to
TV
be
show,
alive.
Denny?
Whatever you're looking for, chances are you're going to find a little bit of it in these games.
I recognize
Here
her.
are the
An actress.
2022 Tribeca Games selection.
I can't think of what she's played in, but I recognize her. She played in Vampire Diaries, which I've watched.
When you grew up. For
That's a whole
Jala,
story.
the star of Thirsty Suitors, Going back
It's a whole
home for
story.
her sister's wedding means that she's going to be facing unresolved issues.
I like
with her
the crepe
family,
paper background
friends, and
sort
a
of thing they
string
got
of
going on back
angry
there.
exes.
I do too.
As
Yeah.
Jala,
It's like a
you're gonna be
nice
forced
mint
to confront
color.
everything that you have been
It's really
avoiding
making
through
her outfit
cooking
pop.
challenges and colorful
That
turn-based
necklace
battles,
with that
where
outfit.
you're going to be face to face with the
Yeah.
biggest adversary
I'm loving
of
it.
all.
Like,
The decisions you made.
I don't know
in
why
your lives.
I've decided to comment on
Bag is
all
packed.
what everyone's
It's
wearing
time for a
on all of
trip
these
back
things,
home
but
with
I
Thirsty
feel like that's
Well-
part of the
Outerloop Games is a fully remote
It
studio.
is.
Look at this
5
guy's
years
awesome
ago,
jacket.
with the idea of making games about underrepresented cultures.
That is an awesome jacket.
Studios
That's
about
the
15 folks, and we're
that's
scattered
it's
from Seattle,
almost as good
Washington,
as Jeff
Vancouver,
Shiny jacket yesterday.
The UK, Toronto,
On Jeff
East
Keighley.
Coast of US, like New York, and then 2 in Brisbane. Our first project was a
Remote
game called Falcon
teams.
Games. It's an action
That's
adventure
how the
game
world works now.
about raising a falcon and fighting colonizers.
Falconeer's been out for a
Falcon
while.
Age was the first
Or
time.
Falcon Age.
I personally have ever worked closely with someone else who's brown and South Asian on a team. I'd been in the industry for about 8 years by that point, so that's actually pretty shocking when you think about it. And I think one of the great things about that for me was the kind of conversations you can have, the kind of work that you can do, and you're coming from a similar basis and a similar background and experience. That's why I was really excited about
That's
working
important
with
on a
Thirsty
team.
Suitors.
We have. That is
Hey
important.
y'all, you've been reckless with
We
other
have a
people's
preview
hearts
of
for
this
so
up
long,
today.
Jala. It was a matter
By
Oh,
the
of
one
awesome.
and
That
only
was
Ozzy Mahia.
shacknews.com.
Now, let me see.
Yeah.
Teddy, can you get a link to
Thirsty
that?
Suitors is an action-adventure RPG about immigrant culture, resolving relationships, family pressure, and finding oneself.
Timber Hills, our hometown. I still don't get why we're back here.
Jala is an extremely relatable character for anyone who's really had that moment of moving away from home and then coming back. She sometimes isn't quite aware of the things that she's doing in terms of like hurting people.
Maybe I should just call Tyler and get it over with. I mean, yes, Tyler's your ex-bestie, but she's also your ex.
I wonder if
The ex.
She's kind of a
Jala
hot mess
can
at the
see and
beginning of
hear
the
this
game,
narrator.
and that sets up an interesting dynamic for the player to get to know each of her exes.
Because your third grade boyfriend just walked in the door.
Wow.
Every time you battle one of your
Sergio.
exes, they go into their own
Thirst level
like
high.
a fantasy land.
You look surprised to see me, Jala. Or you just
It's got like kind of a Scott Pilgrim vibe.
So the way we design combat
Yeah.
is based on like a non-violent beating up with each other. What I consciously did was not to have any punches that connect. All the props are being used as thrown objects, or punches and kicks exist, but they only exist in the form of like a holographic fist that comes out.
Almost like it feels like JoJo's Bizarre
Come on,
Adventure
Sergio.
almost. Which
Like, is this how you battle? You get into dance off and bust out attacks?
Trying to
Look,
distract me with your
I have
chest
used my
hair is
dance
definitely
moves
cheating.
in courtship before. I'm not gonna lie.
Coming up with a style
I
that
You-
matched
Do you
my
use them
art
responsibly?
and the theme of the game. And I wanted to
I mean, do I only use my powers for good?
that felt light.
Right.
That felt
I
bold,
mean,
graphic, with
I don't
vivid
believe.
No comment?
I don't know.
I love you, Jala.
Like,
I have loved you since our hands met reaching
I don't
for
know.
the same tub
It's-
of lime green Play-Doh and
I don't think I misused them.
Love
I
me?
genuinely
This is the
had
longest
feelings
conversation we've had in
for the
over a
people
decade.
I dance. I used my seductive dance.
I enjoyed the fact that this game is about reconciliation because that's something that a lot of people don't get to do in real life.
Whoa.
I'm sorry I came on so strong, Jala. I've had this fantasy of you in my head for so long. It's time I got to know the
Look
truth.
at that.
I'm ready to move on if you are.
Very responsible young
figured
man
that out.
right there.
In a lot
I know.
of families, food
That's how
plays
you do
a
it.
large
That's-
role in the culture and a large
There's a
role
lesson
in
there.
learning things from your parents and being able to pass those on. And it's a part of Jala's journey, being able to reconcile that relationship with her parents.
This
It's
game
an
looks
outlet for her to
fantastic.
be able to do that.
It
on
really
their
does.
ground
I like
and,
the approach to the
reconnect with
combat
their
and how it's
culture.
narrative driven.
There's a lot of like great
Skating
visual
session in the game
fantasy
is
stuff
supposed to be
going
really
on
easy
here
and
too.
accessible.
Yeah,
Meta-
it looks like a little bit
Games as a
of Tony
metaphor.
Hawk.
So the way
Games as a
I've designed the
metaphor
game
too is
to
great.
Make the
Yep.
players be able to do fun-looking things like wall run grinds and other.
Oh,
acrobatics
man.
Yeah, the
on
skate
a
stuff is
skateboard
awesome.
Without the complexity.
I'm digging
of
this.
buttons and
Yeah.
buttons.
Man, all
where
this
we're coming
acrobatic
from. We're making
skateboard
this game,
shit,
we want
I'm
it to
digging
feel
it
very
for
familiar
sure.
to immigrants and people of color and particularly like South Asians, so that they can see themselves. But I think it's also a very enjoyable act of like speculation and fantasy for anyone else, you know, come be part of this. We're making a role-playing game. Part of the pleasure of that is in inhabiting someone else and living their life. And I think that's kind of what we want to give players, this idea of being very grounded in Jala, this very specific character, and her story and her
But
personality.
what were the
Some which is
skateboarding
shaped by her
zones?
culture and
Like,
some
do you
of
know
which
what that
is
was a
who she
metaphor for? Metaphor for?
No. I have no idea how it's going to play into
Oh, she's something. Or... No.
Oh shit, the chocolate.
That looks really cool. Thirsty Suitors.
I'm into it.
Midst of a climate catastrophe. In
That-
the pub,
that
that's
comes
the
out
question
this
facing
year.
a child who has found a way to survive in the rooms when you take
That could be an indie game of the year
But when
right
the
there.
ultra-rich return on an expedition,
Yep.
they may get a lot more than what they bargained for.
Alright, what's up next? Tribeca's starting strong.
Demagog Studio is a group of filmmakers, writers, architects, musicians, animators, and developers who make interactive
Architects.
experiences for a generation that might
See,
just
now
live
even
to
something
witness
like
the
this
end
is,
times.
I dig because it's like
We started
here's-
experimenting with a couple of
here's
satirical
a
games
indie
that led to
developer
Golf Club Wasteland,
talking about their
our
work.
first commercial
Oh,
success.
look, Cuphead.
Currently,
Wow.
we Demagogues are working on 2 games.
Yeah, no, I dig this
One of
too.
which
You know
is
what
a
I really
prequel
dig
and
artistically
sequel to
that you
Golf
don't
Club
see a lot
Wasteland.
of?
A
Is
2D
this
cinematic
blue-pink
platformer called
contrast.
The Cub.
I think that's cool. Like it's very striking.
Oh, new platformer.
The Cub is essentially the Jungle
The
Book set
swinging gives
in
me
an
like
urban Silicon
Pitfall
Valley-like
vibes.
apocalypse.
It gives you what vibes?
Pitfall.
Oh yeah, I can see that. They said it's the Jungle Book meets urban setting.
After the Great Climate
Meets what
Catastrophe,
Urban
the ultra-rich have evacuated
Urban setting,
into
okay.
Tesla City on Mars. The rest of us died.
Man, this is like the second or
Years
third
later,
game.
when a research mission revisits Earth,
I need to
they
actually
spot a human-like mutant kid while playing golf.
about to wish list this as soon as we
Upon
get a
discovering
title,
the
and I'm
Cub,
also going
the
to wish
science
list
expedition
Thirsty
turns into a
Suitors because that
relentless
looks
safari-like
fantastic.
hunt. The kid ducks and dives through urban ruins. The little barbarian bastard has a plan.
That character almost looks like Aang from Avatar: Last
Oh, I
Airbender.
could see that.
Yeah. There's the show I have seen, Blake.
While traversing
I loved
this
it.
vibrant post-apocalyptic
I
world,
watched
the
it.
Cub wears a space helmet he
over
scavenged
the,
from a dead Martian. The helmet
pandemic.
airs Radio Nostalgia from Mars, a radio station
My
based on
wife
Mars,
showed it to
streaming
me
music and stories
probably
of Tesla
a
City
decade or
games,
so ago. We
memories
lived
of
in
their former
California
home.
at the time. We lived in Daly City, buddy, not far from you.
I know Daly City. I was there.
Yeah?
And I used to bike to the Nations down in
The
that
radio
mall
callers are nostalgic
around the
for
lake.
our today.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
Future archaeology,
Like I'd bike
future
around
retro,
the lake from
a
my
sci-fi
place
scenario that
down
prompts
to
us to
Sunset.
reevaluate the things we already have today. From
And I also
friends and
love
family
that,
to basic things like air
Boulevard
and water.
Cafe.
As Marshall McLuhan
Mhm.
would
Is that
say,
it? I love
we
that
march
place.
backwards into the future. Similarly, the brutalist architecture in the environment serves many non-obvious functions.
Yeah, I love the
Brutalism
color
stands for the
contrast in
20th
this
century
game.
and its
Not just the
apocalyptic
blue
history.
on pink,
It stands
but
for faith in
kind of all
large-scale
of it. I'm
progress
digging all
through
of it.
technology that spans multiple ideologies, which led to breakthroughs, but also to pollution and climate change. In the 21st century, we have a
game was
brutalism
so
of the
good.
soul, a reordering of the human psyche through the internet, as exemplified in the millennial pink neons peppered throughout our game's cityscapes, such as digidopamine or doom
That's a cool
scrolling.
word.
Modernist architecture looks powerful, yet it's already turning into
Man.
ruins, just as
Alright, the
humanity
Cub.
might.
Cub is on my list. Wow. Some gorgeous
The game
looking
is an
settings.
homage to cinematic platformers such as Heart of
Am
Darkness,
I,
but also old school
it's
Sega
not
games
like
the
super
Jungle
strong,
Book
but
or
I
Aladdin.
also get a little bit of Metroid vibe from the art style, or Metroid Dread from the art style.
I can see that. Definitely got more of the vines and stuff. Definitely give it that Pitfall vibe for sure.
Yeah,
Hi, Matt
Pitfall
Kitty.
vibe.
glad you
And
came
Prince
back.
of Persia.
Classic
Some of the
literature,
animations
cinema, and popular
remind
culture.
me of the classic
A
Prince of Persia
reflection
games.
on our
Oh,
commitment
yeah.
to storytelling.
I think
and
these
world
are all
building.
apt.
The game has
comparisons.
numerous interactive objects
Yeah.
to find that
This game is
enrich
called
and
The
inform
Cub.
the narrative, and
The
also poke
Cub.
fun at
Yeah, I
future
really
and
like
current
this.
events at the same time. Hopefully, the game will make people feel, open the players' minds,
The Cub,
and thereby
CUB.
bring a change in
Cub.
global politics and a universal bliss for all humanity.
I've noticed this is
Oh,
also.
yeah.
What platformers are
That
best
slide.
at? Enlightenment of the soul.
Like, I've noticed that, like, climate change and the elite going into space and leaving humanity to die has also
Yeah.
been,
In
like, a
1998,
strong
the
theme
fates
this
of two
year.
families converge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Hotel
gonna
in
see a lot of
where a
that
robbery
from
gone wrong changes all of their lives
the
forever.
AAA space, but the
As tale
indies
unfolds
are,
over
as
the next few
usual,
decades, step into
being
the
very
shoes of
topical, and I
multiple
dig that.
characters to decide how that night will alter the course of their lives through a unique art style featuring actors digitally
Like,
integrated.
to be honest,
into a
though, I don't know if
beautiful cinematic
I would
world.
really want to,
This
you know,
is As Dusk
have to
Falls.
reform
Hello,
society
I'm
on
Claudia.
another planet.
And I'm Charu. We're excited to be
Probably
here
No,
and I want to
that-
tell you more
especially
about
if it was
Interior
just a
Nights
cultural
and our
elite that
game
left.
As Dusk Falls.
Yeah, it's a big ask.
Oh, hey there. Got your car towed back
Oh,
for
look
you.
at this.
You were right. It's more than I can fix with duct tape and a socket.
Some nice paintings.
What do I owe you? Nothing. Your guests.
Get it round back. Quick. What in the world?
On
the ground now!
Oh, damn.
I said get on the ground!
As Dusk Falls is an interactive story, the decisions you make do have consequences. Our story is a crime drama that explores the intertwined lives of two families over 30 years. We have the loving family, the Walkers,
So, what's next? License plate game? Another round of row your boat?
and the Holts, which are the more desperate family.
Come on. This is Turok, not NYPD Blue.
Turok?
Now get looking for that
Dinosaur
safe.
Hunter?
As you play the game, you
Definitely.
will be stepping in the shoes
this a
of
new
different
Turok game?
characters. First, Vince, the dad.
I mean,
who
this is
is
a hell of a
hunting his family
reboot.
to
I don't
misery.
remember
Or my
giving
vlog.
them the
I plan
license
to
to my likeness
herd
for
you
this, by the
to
way.
St. Louis in ice
And on their way in Arizona,
You've been ripped
they
off a
get
good deal in
caught
recent
in a
years.
hostage
Those
situation.
Viking games that totally aped your look.
Yeah, it's rough.
There's
He's
also
so handsome.
Jay, who is
Yeah.
one of the members of the other family, the hostage takers.
Ah.
So you get to see
Ah, I
understand
can't say
the
that
world
with a
from
straight
his
face.
perspective.
Hey.
What?
Just
I
another,
don't-
just another Seth Rogen dad
Look,
type.
There's enough cash in
Would have
that
been Zach
safe for the last few
Galifianakis a
weeks
decade
behind
ago.
us. We stay alive.
This
keep
is
the house,
like
everything goes back to normal.
an animated graphic novel.
There's our third main character, who is Zoe.
Daddy, are we gonna play?
No, they're not my daughter.
Who you see
Where's
across the
Madge?
6 chapters from when she's 6
Oh.
until she's 19.
Yeah.
And she's becoming this
Whoa.
young woman.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
It's got what's
The
that movie?
visual art
Room?
style of our game is unique, and it was crafted especially to tell this compelling story. It mixes beautifully painted 2D characters and sets them in an evocative 3D world.
I'm
We
wondering,
filmed
did they
genuine
use?
and
Okay,
nuanced performances from actors to capture complex emotions and facial expressions.
that
Players
slow-mo
don't
punch
look
was
at
great.
pixels, they
Yeah,
watch
it
people
looked really
in all
good,
their
actually.
humanity.
When it comes about like writing the story, we work probably a bit more like TV. So it's a very long process. It's dozens of versions of script. So it's not a linear one
Just
version
gotta
of the
work
story. We
in a
have
green
to
screen
think
prison.
all the choices, all the narrative space, all the branches feeding into one another. It's kind of
That's
a
got to be the toughest
3D
thing
map.
about modern acting, right? It's like nothing is actually there in a lot of cases.
How
Yeah.
could you have thought you'd be happier without your family?
Although if you're an actor, you could rise to that. But yes, it
I
would
don't
be
know.
difficult.
I guess
David,
I just never.
Do I have
liked
another
being tied
secret
down.
family I don't know about?
Family,
I don't remember any of
Probably,
this.
buddy.
Trapped.
Probably.
We wrote every character from a place of
Who's that old
empathy,
guy
and
talking to
we
you? Is that your
try
other?
not to
Is that
be
like another
judgmental
father-in-law?
towards
Do you
any
think?
of them.
That's
We try
old
to
man.
understand each of them.
Gimga.
And the players will feel
Oh,
the
Gimga.
same way
Oh, man,
and
Gimga.
try to empathize and understand and relate with all of them.
Did you get the money? Oh, we got it all right. Nice work, guys. Hold on tight.
Here we go.
How would they rob Old Man Gimgal like that?
Old Man Gimga did their pappy wrong in the deal. He took him for all he was
As
worth.
dusk falls.
Old Man Gimga was a flim-flam man
But to share them.
back in the day.
Venba, the mother of the family. Cooking is a way to connect to the culture and the life that she has left behind. And pass those memories on to her young son. Each recipe she teaches him is
You
not
ever
just
see
a list
Paper
of
Moon?
ingredients, but a piece of a much larger story.
Ever see
about where
what?
he comes
Paper
from,
Moon?
Who his family is.
No.
And the challenges they face.
Like Family
Here's a
Bible.
taste of what's to come.
Is there a flim flam man in
How
that?
did
I'll
you
check
get
it out.
started in game development? Well, basically, I took a quiz online
Hey.
to figure out what my career should be back when I was in high school, and after the quiz, it said I should be a video game developer.
This is really great content, but I'm lost in the Blakeverse.
Sorry. The Blake Cinematic Universe is very complex.
Project called Balloon Man. It was
The
this Mega Man
BCU.
style boss rush
Man,
game
this is
about
just a bunch of kids.
depressed
This is
superhero
adorable.
whose superpowers are.
Man, I heard Mega Man style, and I was
We
like,
were a couple of months
oh?
into the project when Abby texted me this paragraph pitch of Venba. I remember the day I was eating at a restaurant with my mom and my sister.
Venba is a narrative cooking game where you play as
Yeah,
a
this art
class
style's great
who
too.
moves to
This looks
character
like
in
a
late
picture
1980s.
book.
But during this move, her recipe book
It
gets
reminds
damaged.
me of, like,
so as the player,
the
not
3DO
only will you be
era
cooking various South Indian
some
dishes
reason. I
to
don't
restore
know.
these recipes,
Oh,
but you will
that's
also
some
be
shade.
exploring the story of this family and the unique challenges that they face.
And the idea resonated with me so much. Maybe because my mom was there, I felt a connection to the idea because it's about a mother and a son. It was too compelling to not work on, so we decided to move on to Venba.
Venba at its core is
So
about
I
the
did
relationship
work
between
on
the
it.
mother and the son. One aspect that we wanted to touch upon was the loss of language. As Kevin grows up here and grows more assimilated, he loses touch with his mother tongue Tamil, and he adopts English instead. So as a result, the literal communication between Venba and Kevin is quite broken. And you can see this in the recipe book given to Venba by her mother as well, because in the travel, the words and the pages get damaged, so as a result, the communication between generations there too is quite broken. Venba, who feels a lot of guilt for
It
having
is.
moved to Canada in the first place, doubles down on the things she holds dear, like her culture, her language, her food, the longer she stays here. So it becomes really important for her to fix the recipe book, because for her, that's a way for this link to persist across generations.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
This game is wholesome. Wholesome as fuck.
In our household, we very rarely ate outside
This isn't
food,
even the wholesome
so
direct.
cooking was very important. Everything was made from scratch and daily.
I like that they got the sound designer in here.
Yeah,
And
audio
unlike Venba,
too
there
often
were
gets
no
overlooked.
recipes. Food was just made by
in games.
testing, taste, improvising, and asking around.
This looks so good.
The cooking gameplay specifically was a
I
big
think I know what I'm
challenge
getting for
us.
lunch now.
Yeah?
Ah.
Most cooking games that we know take a lot of the physical elements of cooking, like chopping an onion or flipping a pan, and turn those into actual gameplay mechanics. This didn't really fit the theme and the story of Venba, and that's where the damaged recipe book idea came to fruition. We thought that a puzzle-based cooking game made for a much more compelling and appropriate gameplay.
Puzzle-based cooking game is a cool combination, actually.
Yeah. We were just talking earlier. What is it about cooking games that are always so fun?
I wanted the sound effects
Like,
to be really
I
realistic
really like
and
Cook
reminiscent
Serve
of the South
Delicious.
Asian kitchen. I
Yeah.
included like the dishware that we use.
In this
utensils,
case,
just items from the
cooking
kitchen.
really fits with their theme because so many families
But that
bond
also
around
involves a lot of
preparing and sharing
recording
food.
of actual cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I definitely remember
I
things
wanted
my
the
grandma
sauce to
would
be very
make
nostalgic
growing up.
for those that
You
grew up in
know,
a similar
my mom still
background.
has some of those recipes too.
I wanted
You
this
know,
emotional impact.
she made
to come
Hungarian
across through
goulash
sound.
a lot, and
The music in this game primarily comes
chicken
from an in-game
schnitzel,
radio
like
influenced
breaded,
by Tamil movies and
breaded
music
like
that were a
pounded
huge
chicken,
part of my life
Mhm.
growing up,
Like,
and we took a lot of effort to make sure that
really
the songs
good.
sound like something you would hear back home when you would turn the radio on.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
It was
you
the
know?
hardest thing for me to choose what recipes
kinda
to showcase in the game.
Eastern
It's
European
impossible to do
roots
justice
and
to the
European
wide
cooking.
range of dishes
Yeah.
and cuisines that we have. Instead, I just focused on what recipes would make for fun gameplay puzzles and what ingredients would this family have living in Toronto.
Even though the story of Venba is pretty firmly rooted in Tamil culture, we think it hits on some pretty universal themes.
The influences for this game, it primarily draws from the stories of the families that I see here, especially the relationship between first generation parents and their children.
We're hoping that in the future we'll keep being able to tell these kinds of intimate
Yeah.
stories through gameplay.
I'm glad that there are indies out here doing stuff like this.
You know, maybe
Yeah,
you'll,
it's so important.
it'll make you want
Yeah,
to call your mother.
it's really good, and I'm glad that they're so accessible.
2 years ago, the game
Yeah.
A Plague Tale Innocence invited audiences into the world
it's
of
easy to
Amicia,
find stuff
a teenage
like this
girl
now.
living in
It's cool
14th
to
century
see
France. As
Tribeca
Amicia, you had to use courage and cunning to
supporting,
protect your 5-year-old
like,
brother
all of
Hugo
these
from
creative
soldiers of the
artistic
French
games.
Inquisition.
Yeah,
Swarms
that's
of
such a
rats
big
carrying
name
blood
in
red,
independent
and the
films, so I think that will give a lot of attention to the games it's bringing under that
Now,
Tribeca
Amicia and Hugo
umbrella.
are back in a new adventure
Yeah,
called A
the
Plague
line
Tale
between
Reckoning.
like
Get ready for
cinema,
hand-to-hand
like
battles and
cinema
ruined
and
castles,
video games,
thrilling
is
adventures
definitely
on the high
like blurred a
seas,
lot,
yes,
and I think that's a good
more rats
thing.
than ever.
Like it's just interactive
Oh, yeah.
entertainment, you know, and to see, yeah, like because that was always the thing is like Hollywood never really acknowledged video games as like a valid medium. And
Well,
that's
the
starting
other,
to
the other
change.
thing, no, you're absolutely right. And the other thing is, in the era you and I grew up playing games in, we'd always hear about how video games are crossing over with Hollywood, but that really resulted in a lot of
Lara
like
Croft,
really
Tomb
low
Raider, the
budget.
Super Mario
well,
Brothers movie.
well, not just that though, but like in terms of games, like really bad FMV games. Just the technology wasn't there. But now we have such cinematic experiences that like you said, the line is blurred. You know.
The arena down. They let them die here.
Yeah, and you know, even films are using the same technology for their CGI. You, like the Unreal Engine is used in Hollywood.
Right.
You know, it's used to make cartoons. It's used to make CGI graphics. I guess graphics.
Et on s'est dit qu'en fait notre meilleure chance c'était de partir
Yeah, this game.
de français.
Plague's Tale.
On est dans un pays chargé d'histoire.
Yeah, Plague's
Bordeaux est
Tale.
chargé
It kind of
d'histoire.
looks like
On vit tous les jours dans des murs qui ont plusieurs centaines
a
de
slightly like more realistic Breath of the Wild almost, especially with that view, the character running through the field. But
I gotta say, I never thought a Plague Tale would be a franchise that took off when I saw the original.
Oh.
Like, shows what I know.
émotionnel quand c'était nécessaire.
But yeah, apparently people really like the original.
What's happening to me, Lucas?
Yeah, like
I feel my mind going.
I think
Une
they
grande
have like
sœur, un petit frère,
spooky
c'est
powers
quelque
or
chose qui
something like
résonne
that.
en nous, qui va parler un peu à
Yeah.
tout le monde.
Like the
Et
kid
donc
can
ça a été
control
vraiment le point de
rats.
départ. Hugo et Amicia, ça a été les premiers personnages qui sont nés.
Amicia, la grande sœur, et sa manière d'appréhender un petit frère dont elle n'avait pas la charge et où tout d'un coup elle va en avoir toute la responsabilité. Hugo, qui est un jeune enfant qui ignore tout du monde et en réalité est chargé d'un pouvoir et qui le dépasse.
Yeah.
Et comment ce duo va
Yeah.
grandir ensemble et
That was it.
et réaliser
Yeah, the little brother has
l'histoire
special
beaucoup plus grande
powers.
qu'eux qui est en train de se réaliser. Donc
You have to sneak around.
Yeah.
Try not to get
It's
caught.
bleeding again.
Yes, we should fix that before it gets infected, I guess.
Amicia, donc c'est une jeune fille, c'est pas une guerrière, donc le gameplay de Plague, c'est un gameplay plus orienté sur
More on
l'infiltration
stealth
et
and
la survie.
survival. That makes sense.
Le but étant toujours d'être
Always
nomade
down for that.
pour survivre.
Do you like
Les
stealth
rats
games,
ou
Blake, or do you
I'm
you get
impatient.
impatient?
Après Amicia, il y a
I'm
des moments
impatient.
où elle va devoir
Although
faire face.
I have
et
played
avoir,
several Assassin's
des
Creed
phases
games
plus orientées action, plus orientées combat.
and Metal Gear.
Toutes ces phases-là, construisant
Yeah, yeah,
un rythme narratif
But to be
qui
fair,
vient servir
Assassin's Creed
l'évolution du
lately
personnage.
doesn't have to be a
ça-
sneak.
son son rapport
And honestly, they made it so you don't have to wait.
au monde.
Like that game is more fast-paced than it was than its.
Le contexte de la peste était intéressant parce qu'il était vecteur
and it's more. Yeah, there's definitely if you just want to go full combat, there's really no penalty anymore.
Dans un jeu vidéo, où on doit avoir une adversité.
Like I really like Black Flag. I played a lot of Assassin's Creed 3.
On a utilisé la représentation la plus symbolique de la peste, qui était les rats. Ça faisait une belle incarnation de la maladie, mais pour que ce soit impressionnant et qu'on ait cette sensation de propagation, il en fallait des milliers, il fallait qu'on ait ces rats qui déversent dans
those
les
two were
champs,
my favorites as well.
forêts,
Yeah, Solid and
pour
Solid
montrer
2.
la maladie qui progresse et qui ravage tout.
I liked the remake a lot on GameCube as well. Did you play that, Twin Snakes?
Amplifié d'une maladie.
It's really good.
C'est à la fois une menace mais un outil pour Amicia. Grâce au pouvoir du Go, grâce à ses outils à elle-même.
I'm kind of surprised. You know, Konami's had success over the last few years of releasing anthologies of Contra and Castlevania games. I'd love to see. I guess they did it back in the 360 and PS3 era with the Metal Gear HD collection, but it feels like it's time for another release that includes 4 and 5.
C'est une technique d'écriture assez large. C'est vraiment une architecture globale qui vient rythmer tout
Well,
le
at
jeu.
this juncture, Blake, I'm afraid I have to step out, but we've seen some great games just in the last 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, man, I like that we're getting some deep dives into these, but yeah, I'm going to,
là, il va être beaucoup plus focalisé sur ce
I'm gonna stick around,
donc
gonna hang out,
Hold it down.
me and Bad Kitty kicking it old school for a while.
Nice, nice.
On va laisser faire le gameplay.
It'll be great, but yeah, thank you, David, for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, morning my
Yes,
time.
you will.
Big afternoon for you, or or late morning.
Constamment de faire
That's right.
Go do what you gotta do. Is anyone running in here with a folding chair or anything?
Gee, I hope not. Now I need to check twice before I maybe literally duck out.
You can do better than that.
Well,
Later, Blake. Later, chat.
David.
Stop.
Everyone
See
say
y'all
bye to
tomorrow.
David.
Do you see the situation we're in?
Father.
We were just supposed to get herbs.
All right.
Faire plein de projets nous
No one
oblige
is
à avoir
here.
des outils à
It's
la
just
fois
me
à la
and
pointe de
you,
la technologie, mais
Internet.
très modulables. Et le fait d'avoir par exemple notre équipe engine à la maison, ça
Maybe
nous permet
someone
d'aller les
will-
voir directement et dire on a un
David will
challenge
show up
relatif
and
au jeu qu'on
he
est en train de
left.
développer et il nous faut un moyen de le solutionner et ça
Blake
permet
said-
d'atteindre des prouesses comme par exemple les
Dealing with
gigantesques
plague rats,
hordes de rats qu'on
as
voit
one would
déferler
expect
sur les villes dans
during the
les
Black
trailers,
Plague
des choses
era.
comme ça.
Better run. Wow, that is a ocean of
Après, on a
rats.
vu aussi nos faiblesses à certains endroits, notamment.
That was like just a
il a fallu
flood,
s'en rendre compte, hein, les
but
cinématiques
rats
qui
instead of
demandaient
water,
une logistique très lourde.
which is
Donc en fait, on a
horrible.
vraiment investi sur un
Horrible.
studio
If that
motion
was coming
capture
my way, I
qui
would
nous appartient
freak the
et
fuck
qui nous a
out.
permis d'avoir une énorme flexibilité en termes de tournage.
I don't know what's happening to me, Lucas.
Look
I
at
feel
that
my
emotion.
mind going.
Donc Olivier de Rivière, notre compositeur, c'est quelqu'un qui amène énormément de choses dans le jeu. Et donc il arrive et il a plein d'idées. Et là, on parle vraiment d'émotion, on parle vraiment de comment colorer des scènes donc avec de la musique.
Et il y a des moments où il nous sort des compositions incroyables. Et on regarde le level en face ou la séquence en face, on se dit tiens, c'est super ce qu'il a fait, mais nous on n'est pas au niveau du coup. Donc il va falloir se battre un peu pour remonter nos trucs et accompagner sa musique parce que ça marche dans les deux sens.
Look at that guitar. That's ridiculous. Oh man. Okay, that guy has got the nails run out. Serious classical guitar
L'amour vis-à-vis de
player
nos
right
personnages,
there.
c'est une chose qu'on ressent
That's how you
nous,
know
au
they're
quotidien.
serious.
Et,
Like
moi, je sais que dans le travail
classical
d'écriture, c'est
guitar
quelque chose
players
qui est
they grow their
fondamental. On veut rien
fingernails
faire
out
gratuitement. On sait que le jeu peut
on
être très
their
très noir,
strumming
très
hand.
très dur, mais il y a toujours une raison à ça.
Then they
Ça
use
suit
the
une,
claw
vraiment
hammer
une
technique
forme
and
de
they just
logique.
pluck with their fingernails.
À chaque fois qu'on écrit quelque
This is
chose,
cool
ou
and
qu'on
kind of
réalise
gross,
quelque chose
but they have to
pour
like
Requiem,
strengthen their nails.
c'est quand ça sonne faux ou quand ça passe pas, on sait que Hugo ou Amicia nous disent
Especially since
non,
most
j'aurais pas
people
dit
play
ça,
right-handed,
j'aurais
it's
pas
the
agi
hand
comme
that
ça.
they shake
Et donc c'est
hands
amusant parce qu'ils font le jeu avec nous en fait un peu.
Would His Majesty allow us to enter the city by his side?
I allow.
When Cuphead came out in 2017, the first thing people noticed was the distinctive cartoon art style, inspired by the golden age of American animation where every frame was drawn by hand. Now, Cuphead is back with a new adventure called Delicious Last Course, with a whole bunch of new enemies and Ways to Die, and a new heroine named Ms. Chalice. So, if you are up for the challenge, get ready for Cuphead, delicious last
Here
course.
comes Cuphead. We saw this today already and yesterday. Cuphead has probably been shown more than any other game so far. It's been on 3 out of 5 of these things so far.
After the first game released, we had that itch to go back and revive some of the material that landed on the cutting room floor.
Little
Looks like it's bon voyage to our old pals Cuphead, Bugman, and the lovely Miss Chalice. They're off on their next adventure, this time to the
Here we go.
DLC Island.
The Delicious Last Course is more fantastical cartoon action. It's a true second helping of screen-filling, boss battles, imaginative stages, and
And have you played Cuphead?
This new adventure and expansion lets us really give
Oh,
this
hey.
a chance to shine.
What's up, Austin?
I was summoned.
Did you know that Cuphead is getting some DLC?
The Delicious Last Course, yes.
A really important role as part
This
of the
has now
trio
been
of
shown more than
heroes.
any other game
This
so
was our
far.
opportunity to
I
further
feel.
explore
Is it this year's
animation,
Soup Pot?
music,
It might be.
gameplay homages, all of which
we should give an award for Soup Pot like game of the year.
Oh man, that game that they showed earlier about the family, the cooking. See that?
Venba. I really am into that. Also, like, as a brown person, I like the representation we're getting at this a lot. I'm very interested in Thirsty Suitors. We've talked about that game.
Yeah, that game looks awesome as well.
That game is going to be so wild, dude. It's like, when the mom shows up with her chuppel in her hand, I lost it. I fucking lost it. That is... There are some very good brown people memes in that game.
And Mickey and Bimbo.
Yeah.
And then one
But
day,
yeah, it's exciting to see. This whole presentation has been awesome when it comes to like just diversity of presenters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been. I like that it's more little in depth with the developers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like yeah, if you're gonna let people talk, don't just bring out like Troy Barker like a couple times.
Baker. But Barker sounds funnier.
Travis, I always get. It's like him and Travis Barker. I always get confused
having
in my
the
head.
chance to re-explore this
Travis
world
Barker.
to make something special for our fans.
Travis Barker's a
while
talented
taking our
drummer, right?
time on the
I
little
mean, it
details
depends
and
on who
making
you
sure we're getting
ask.
them just right. In
But
so
that
many
is
ways,
like a Blink-182
Cuphead,
drummer, so
game and
I
character
I
has
don't
been
know.
with our whole team through
I'm
life
not,
changes.
I'm not ready to give
These characters have
Blink-182 any
become
credit
like
for
children
anything personally.
of sorts.
No, but out of that whole band, hi, Bad Kitty. How are you?
Just really exciting.
For there's a new challenge waiting
Yeah.
around every
No,
corner
I get what you're
of the
saying, though.
amazing DLC Island.
But yeah, just in case you didn't know already, from the Jeff party and
2016
earlier today on
introduced
Netflix,
the supernatural coming-of-age
Yeah, it was
story
Netflix
of
was
a
talking
teenage
about
girl
it
named
too.
Alex and her friends celebrating the end of a school year on the mysterious Edwards Island.
So far, I feel
Contemplating
like
their futures
I've
and
liked
accidentally
everything
opening
from
a
every
ghostly rift.
presentation that
Oxenfree
wasn't
2 Lost Signals brings
Jeff
us
party.
a different kind of coming-of-age
Like,
story.
Jeff had some okay
One
stuff,
about
but-
why
You weren't watching the
Alex
IGN
is facing
stream.
the
It
choices
was.
she made as a young adult,
Did you see IGN
figuring out
sponsored by
what
the
comes
Army?
next.
Yes.
This
Yeah, I came in on that. I came in on that this morning.
What do you think of that? Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals! Woo!
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be fun.
You know, there's been a lot of
bit of
horror
a
games
there.
announced.
We could climb down here.
the last
also,
few days.
it might take a little
And the
longer.
Glory
Yeah,
just came
or
out.
even just like sci-fi horror or like offshoots of
Can you?
horror,
Yeah.
like spooky
Because-
games. Yeah,
Sci-fi
even
horror.
vampire. Yeah,
Lot of sci-fi
horror. A lot of sci-fi horror. Also, a lot of like vampire-like games.
What I think has allowed Oxenfree to have such
Yeah.
a long life in the hearts of our play
Yeah.
are
And
these characters.
just
all about the
80s,
characters.
a lot
The
of
characters
80s
of Oxenfree are intended to feel like people that you would know.
That's been a trend for a few years.
Yeah, Stranger
the
Things
issues that they deal
definitely
with
made
are
that,
ones that everybody can
the
relate to. What
thing.
does it mean to lose
And
somebody
we just
you
got
love?
Stranger
What does
Things
it mean
4, so I
to
think
be
everyone's
entering
kind
a
of
new
like
moment of your life that you're totally unprepared.
piggybacking off of Kate
Open-ended
Bush
enough
right
that
now.
You can always ask yourself, what would I do in this situation?
Watch your step. I don't think this was meant for tourists.
It's sort of pretty, in a way.
No, it's amazing. In another life, I would have been a geologist. Or took at least an intro to geology course, you know?
Oxenfree is a game about some really relatable characters, but put in
This like
crazy,
setup that they put him
unrelatable
in for the interview
situations.
though.
Riley's from Kamina. And unlike Alex and her friends in Oxenfree 1,
Let's just put a like CRT over here.
growing up in this area.
The first game really tight.
Like on a set.
Several CRTs.
Yeah.
This game
Flickering
about
too,
Riley
like
coming home,
low refresh
interacting
rate.
With Jacob, who is somebody who she went to high school.
I love the art
with
style of
her
this
father,
these
dealing
games.
With a whole host
Yeah.
of new characters that are along this.
It seems like Tribeca really does have a vibe.
Oh yeah.
Well enough.
Like they're
To and from practically
I like
every
that
town
we have like a
we
film
live around.
entity that takes games seriously as an
Have
art
you
form. And
been down here before?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of curating their vibe
No.
really well.
Some of the kids
Yeah, David and I were
were
talking
dead
about that. How
in
like
high school.
it's
Crawling here, light a
it's
fire,
lends
get
validity
out or
to
whatever.
games as an art
But I'm
form.
too little a fan
And
of
that was
small,
like
dark
a
spaces
huge
to really see the
gap
desire.
for a
really
while.
looking forward
Like
to
video
people-
games.
It's like what's going on with the Grammys. You heard about it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
That there's going to be a video game soundtrack category.
Questionable
Yeah.
facial hair. He's got the hipster
I think that's
hat.
good.
Funny how just a little light makes everything both less and more spooky. Weird, right?
In his animation,
But
also
words don't
gave him
make
that laid back
anything
kind of,
better
I'm
or
just hanging
worse.
out here in the woods, not being
They're just
creepy.
fun.
No, but like
Jacob actually had
Koji Kondo
direct
deserves
ties to
all the
events
flowers.
of Oxenfree 1,
You think
and
that they'll give
particularly
him,
the
like,
history
an
of
honorary
Maggie
award?
Adler. Maggie was the woman that first kind of discovered what radios could
Mhm.
do. She was the one who was kind of tied to the events that really kicked off the whole story.
Hey, if you're on this frequency,
Trying to do some tech
Yes?
support for Shacknews Mercury right now.
that's what I'm calling.
What's did you play the first Oxenfree?
I
The
did.
cool thing about the radio is that it opens
It's
up
good.
a whole
think it's
different
good.
axis of exploration to the player. It's not just exploring Edwards Island as a space, it's exploring Edwards Island as an infinite number of kind of radio frequencies. Certain objects in the game will resonate with certain frequencies.
Wow. I like the chair thing.
It worked, I think. I mean, we're not dead.
The alternate timelines in the Oxenfree universe are really interesting because it allows the player to explore the possibility of going back and changing the past.
I think we're back when the mine was somewhat operational. I don't think anyone's around. Let's see if the time tear opened anything up.
The player gets to open these portals in time and go through them and talk to these other ghostly characters. Portals are getting open when they don't want it to happen, and so they've got to deal with the ramifications of
That
that.
light.
Portals are
That light that they put in that
fascinating,
background, man.
very beautiful, very mysterious, but ultimately very dangerous.
Jacob?
The stakes are very high for this one. One, we've got a new set of antagonists who are actually actively trying to open a portal on their own for some nefarious reasons. But two, while that is happening, we're
They haven't
seeing
explained
tears
this
in
much
time.
about the
Those
game
tears
yet,
are
have they?
allowing things from completely other timelines to start coming in and out of our timeline. It's going to be much less about some localized little thing in this town, and it's more about the fabric of time and space kind of melting down.
I mean, look, when you're messing with the time-space continuum, that's just a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea to mess with the time-space continuum.
Basically.
Riley, come in, Riley.
I wonder if
You're
you
gonna have
can
a
just,
bad
like,
time.
I wonder if you can just do nothing and like save the day. Like keeping it all in one continuum.
So like, there's a wave of Shackers who have deleted their accounts, but like are renewing their Mercury sub anyway.
In Immortality, created by
So
Sam
I tell them in the email, I'm like, in the future, just remember to cancel Mercury before you delete your next account.
You don't just find one, you find 3
that works.
unreleased films spanning over
Is that too snarky?
all
I don't know.
Marissa Marcel, who has since
You're an adult.
disappeared.
It's a free country.
Watch footage and behind-the-scenes clips and interviews to piece together the mystery of
Oh no. They need to
Marissa
create an
Marcel.
account and then delete it
This
again in order to
is
cancel,
Immortality.
right? So I think it's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying it in a mean way. I'm just like, you know.
Marissa Marcel.
First heard about Marissa Marcel in 2015.
Marissa
I was at a
Marcel.
party in Hollywood, and I was listening to these other guys, writers, producers who were big in the 70s. They were swapping war stories, gossiping, and one of them brings up
18
the
minutes
story of
till the
Marissa
market
Marcel.
closes, so I have some open positions that I need to exit.
All right. You do that. I'll take a look at this.
No, it's all good. If I seem distracted, I'm looking at stock quote.
Making adult
online.
decisions. I got it.
But I was intrigued,
Well,
so I continued to
Yeah.
dig and attempted to find something more concrete.
Now, we know you from the movie that you just finished shooting. It is finished, right?
Yeah, it's
I like this Johnny Carson.
If you don't know, it's a bit of a fairy tale. So Arthur Fisher,
Sounds
the
pretty
great
good.
director, who you probably know from his movies such as Marion and The Man Who Dreamed, was
Yeah, I
casting
believe
for
we
his
did
new
interview
movie,
these
Ambrosio.
folks.
And so instead of casting a recognizable face, he wanted to find some fresh talent. So he put the word out and saw, how many was it, 10,000?
I think it was over 20,000.
20,000. He saw 20,000 girls, and long story short, he picked you.
Yes.
2 years ago, we were approached by an anonymous donor who handed over this huge cache of film. In it was footage from rehearsals, behind-the-scenes B-roll, and completed shots from the shoots. As far as we can tell, this is everything that remains of the 3 Marissa Marcel movies.
Before I go, I would like
Yeah, I'm
some
just gonna
token of our
exit the
friendship.
position now.
You could have walked away from this.
We brainstormed how best to use this footage, how to make it available to the world. So first we very carefully cleaned and scanned all of the film, digitizing everything. But there were enough gaps where we weren't able to cut full movies.
So we took some of the ideas from my earlier games, Her Story and Telling Lies, the idea of a more exploratory way of viewing film stories, and we built on that. We created a virtual movieola, a way of looking through the footage as if you were back in the editing suite with Arthur Fisher or John Durick. And to build on this idea, we came up with a new mechanic, a kind of visual concordance.
Does this work as a confession?
Exploration by match cut.
Good words.
When you're watching, at any point you can stop and point to an image, an actor, a prop, and the system will create a match cut to another piece of footage with that image.
Now it's worth more.
So you kind of surf through the footage in a way, following a breadcrumb trail of visuals, creating your own montage. It's both expressive and exploratory, like the best of video games. When you have a situation like this, where no one really knows what happened to Marissa Marcel, people tend to fill in their blanks.
You're
Their
trying to like
imagination
Blair
goes to
Witch
dark
this?
places. I would not use the word haunted.
I guess?
like, oh, this actress was in like 3 films over the course of 30 years. And doesn't look like she's aged at all. Okay.
Maybe it's like a little bit of time travel?
Simpler, safer, more optimistic.
She's a
time.
vampire.
Trevor Hill does.
Oh.
That's
He
my
lives in
guess.
Arcadia,
That's just my guess.
A utopian
Oh,
American
okay.
town
Well, I mean,
in
that
the
seems
1970s
plausible.
where the future seems brighter than ever. Like the other citizens of Arcadia, he is a contestant on a reality show where viewers are secretly judging his every move.
So we've seen this
Trevor
one.
learns the truth from a rogue technician.
Yeah.
He goes on the run.
This is American Arcadia, which has not been confirmed or not confirmed for Stadia.
En American Arcadia, nada es lo que parece.
Now in its
Raw
55th
Fury.
season.
All up in everyone's
American
business this year, and I love it.
Es que
Yeah.
Arcadia es en realidad el reality show más visto del planeta y está gobernado por rankings de popularidad.
Control subject on the run on camera 4025. Interrupt broadcast.
It has a Truman Show vibe.
Bienvenidos a
Yeah,
Arcadia, una
it's like
ciudad
Truman Show and
retrofuturista
Black
de los
Mirror.
70, donde todos
Yeah.
los ciudadanos disfrutan de una vida de confort, y de
like
lujos
the idea
sin
that
saber que
like
están siendo grabados las 24 horas
you're
del
trying
día.
to leave
Para
the,
nuestro protagonista
the
Trevor, que
utopian
vive una
society. The
vida
mustache is
simple,
great.
aburrida y feliz, esto es un problema.
I'm wondering what happened to everyone's noses.
Y cuando descubre la verdad, tendrá que escapar de Arcadia.
Stop immediately.
I like the art style.
Yeah. It's like
Por
a.
otro lado está Ángela, es el ángel de la guarda
Gameplay
de
kind of
Trevor.
feels like
Es una hacker
Flashback or
dispuesta a
Prince of
todo
Persia.
con tal de salvar a una
Like
persona
those old
normal.
rotoscoped
Por el
action
mero
games.
hecho
Which,
de
by the
hacerle
way,
bien.
Flashback 2.
Oh yeah.
I was excited about that announcement.
That was such a weird announcement. Like,
3 surveillance cameras.
I was watching Grand Pooh Bear. He did a
upload
reaction
the
video
footage from
for
my cell
the
phone.
Summer Game
Uno de los
Fest.
puntos fuertes de American Arcadia
And
es la
like
dualidad entre
his reaction to that was kind of what I imagine a lot of people's would be. They're like, I didn't even know there was a flashback 1.
Aww.
But it's
Yeah,
because
but
it's been
like
so
30
long.
years. It's been 30
That's what I
years.
mean.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, average gamer age is not 30. So there's people who like, yeah, like Donovan, for instance, wasn't even born when that game came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's gonna, people are gonna probably go back and play the original, and you know, it's cool.
Like, I was really excited about that. I loved the original Flashback.
It was a really kind of a low key cool announcement from Summer Jeff Fest.
Yeah, like the original was like it pushed the borders of what you could do with like a 16-bit console.
All the
Like,
videos are
it
uploaded
claimed
and
to be
playing the
CD-ROM
loops.
quality
I can enter several
animation
now.
on a cartridge for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
And it looked amazing, like very primitive art by today's standards, but like the fact that they could have such fluid rotoscoping was like phenomenal.
Lo cierto es que muchos de los miembros
I'm looking
del
at
equipo
some of these
nacimos y
stonks.
crecimos durante
They
la
are on
década de
sale
los
today.
70, por lo que no hemos tenido que ir muy lejos a la hora de buscar inspiración y referencias visuales, puesto que la mayoría las
Thinking I'm
llevamos
gonna buy
ya
some
dentro de
WBB.
nuestros propios recuerdos. Muchos de los programas de televisión, series, concursos, etcétera, que veíamos en nuestra niñez, pues están presentes de alguna manera en American Arcadia. Una visión bastante brillante y colorida de lo que serían los años 70. Los personajes, los ambientes, incluso el mobiliario, representan esta versión utópica y bastante kitsch de una ciudad de los años 70.
Well, Asif, limited run games got me.
Siempre me
They
gusta
got me
tener un tema
today.
principal para
Teenage Mutant Ninja
y
Turtles.
diferentes leitmotivs,
Yeah.
para los diferentes personajes que se van uniendo
Let's say
en
I'm not surprised,
una
Blake.
única banda sonora donde se van mezclando y representando los mundos, tanto el de los 70
Yeah, but it
como el
looks,
futuro,
that game looks
mezclando
absolutely
elementos
amazing.
dentro de
Dude, that
That's the thing I'm
collector's
most.
edition, man, is off the chain.
Hey,
Yeah,
Hey,
they
I can't see
they
anything
nailed
here.
it.
Jeez, man, just hug your teddy bear real tight while I try to turn on the lights, okay?
Just gonna have to
Okay,
sell
is
some
that better?
plasma.
Now
It'll be
let's try to
fine.
find a way out of here.
Why is
Trevor, are you wheezing? You're in terrible shape, man. Don't you get any exercise at all?
No, not since PE in high school. Because of my metabolism, I don't easily gain weight, so I don't usually do any.
Okay. I'm not here to judge your lifestyle or your dietary habits. Just save your breath and keep going.
In American Arcadia,
nice
what
little
we
sample.
want to tell is that you don't need to live just for getting likes on social networks. Just do the things that make you happy. You don't need to care about what the others think.
Happy little music time with a good little message. Be happy with who you are.
That's it. That was it.
Oh, that's a nice little message to go out on.
I like that.
Yeah, alright, Tribeca.
I like this presentation quite a bit. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, no, that was great. Yeah, nothing like horribly new. We have our own Ozzy Mejia just did a little preview of Thirsty Suitors. Asif.
Of Thirsty Suitors?
Yeah, we got a preview.
Yeah.